Well, hello everybody, and thank you for joining me today. It is a glorious Sunday to be out in the gardens, and I thought I'd show you kind of really quickly just how things are doing, the usual Sunday garden tour kind of deal, because, I don't know, I'm kind of surprised by some of this stuff, so yeah, let's get started. I think one of my biggest surprises this year is my Johnny-come-lately sort of row of spaghetti squash here. I planted these way too late, so I'm not really expecting to get anything out of them. But I was kind of curious just to see how they would look growing in a row. And I am noticing even just now that we do have some flowers on here. I mean, that said, it's the first week of August. August, September, there's the end of my garden season. So I'm not expecting much, but looking carefully, this one right here looks like it's got a spaghetti squash on the base of it, so who knows? I might get one. If I at least get one and get some seeds, I can carry forward these genetics, and these particular spaghetti squash seem to grow fairly well. I mean, it's 6 years of seeds from one squash from the grocery store. You can't really argue with that, right? Then the tomato patch, I've got flowers busting out all over the place in here. This is absolutely fabulous. Some of the plants, I'll be honest, they're not looking ab-fab. Got some strange discoloration going on the bottom of this one, is kind of the perfect example. But we do see some nice tomato starts on there. And moving through the patch, and this is why I planted them 2 feet apart, so I can just kind of wander through here, right? Like, look at that. It's going to be nice when it gets there. It's going to be nice when it gets there. This one looks like, there's a black crim stuck in the middle of this patch. That might be a black crim over there as well. So, I mean, for the leftovers and the smaller plants, this particular tomato patch, not looking too bad. And then the intentional tomato patch, this is the important plants, the ones that I'm saving for canning and blah, blah, blah. But we've got a couple of oddities in here with this. I'm kind of thinking this might be the watermelon. I don't know. I got some huge powdery mildew issues going on this one. And actually, if we just pop down to the other corner here really quick, this is yellow zucchini. See, hopefully you can see the beginnings of a couple of them in there, but again, major powdery mildew issues. And if we go up to the garden ship, we can see that there are a couple of monsters in here, and we've already taken some zucchini out, but again, powdery mildew. I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff, like mix milk and water together and spray it on the plants, but I haven't tried it. I've just kind of been cutting them back when they get really, really nasty, but I don't want to take too many off because I need to get some sort of growth. So maybe somebody can tell me, when it's this covered, is it still capturing any sunlight for the plant, or am I just wasting opportunity here? Whack it off and be done. The peppers that we're growing in this particular patch, look at these Hungarian wax peppers, eh? Beautiful. And I think I'm going to be doing some quick pickled peppers with these soon. Just a little fridge pickle. Nothing too terribly complicated, but picked up a French press for $1 at the townwide yard sale. So I think I'm going to use it for, pickling peppers. So the burpless cucumbers, these are doing fairly well. We've had a few of them. We had one the other day, though. It was just brutally bitter. So local gardeners tell me that's because my plant has not received enough water. I've been trying to be a little bit better about being on top of it now. And it is producing some nicer looking cucumbers, so huzzah. I'm so glad we've negotiated access to the well next door. Still trying to find out if they'd be interested in selling it, but all things in fullness of time. This next garden ship here, we've got black crims. See, I love the markings on these tomatoes. They're just really kind of cool. And then the pumpkin, which is also starting to get some powdery mildew issues. But this has really started to sprawl. And and I'm loving that. Some nice flowers in there. We do have one that looks like maybe it was gonna do something, but I don't know. At the moment it's looking kind of, I don't know, less than enthusiastic. So I think this pumpkin was just a project in prettiness, but still it's nice to see. And aside from the powdery mildew, it does seem like the land champa or garden ship is a workable idea for this. So perhaps if I have my soil levels up a little higher, and next year I will be topping it up again. So we'll see. It definitely worked all right for these tomatoes. Better once I got some straw mulch in there. Covering up that soil just makes such a huge difference. Back to the regular style garden though, I'm pleased to say I can actually get at my beans this year, so putting them along the edge here did seem to be a good idea. Been enjoying that. The dill, look at these. Beautiful, eh? Absolutely fabulous. So we'll be saving some of that. Looking forward to that. And then yeah, behind that is just that production tomato patch. We get these bush beefsteaks. Tomatoes. I used to hate tomatoes. You could never tell it by my garden nowadays though, eh? This year the award for most productive hot pepper goes to, drumroll, the super chili. Not really surprised, they're always such productive little peppers. Here we got Trinidad. Oh, this is one of the bathroom scorpions. Look at that. That's got an awful lot of life on it. Anyway, this is the scorpion I got from the green spot this year. A little pepper in there. There's a ghost pepper buried under the weed here. Still looking green, not taking any color. And then yeah, there's the peppers in this more traditional patch. I mean, look at this jalapeno. They're sort of growing, but they're not anything to email home about, you know? And back here, Three Sisters garden, we've got some nice, you know, corn, not terrible. This is the one with the really weird split corn though. So what happened here? We've got two tops, two tassels that have worked out on that. Well, I guess a third kind of. Some runted, stunted growth at the bottom. That has been a very weird corn plant to watch grow, but so be it. And back here, we've got some nice looking cob forming there. Nice looking cob forming back here. So it's not a complete write-off for the corn this year, but it sure feels like it compared to how much was planted out. What's kind of impressive is I was underneath this moth cloth of the other day. I still haven't pulled the weeds out, which is really bad, but I'm going to be going under there soon and getting a clip of just that, because it kind of looked like those cabbages might actually be forming heads for us. So big thanks to Babette for reminding me that I really should transfer some of the cabbages out, because these seem to be the only cabbages still alive. Odd survivors and strange bits of life. Okay, so now it's August, and now my potatoes decide to start growing. Like, too little too late, guys. But here we have one all the same. Yay, thanks for showing up to the party, a little potato. And this even smaller one over there. Like, really, guys? What's the point? Kind of amused myself though, because I was thinking last week, well, I'll just, you know, throw them into one single pile like I was saying, and started breaking down for next year, and I'll start potatoes in that for, you know, next year. And then I found that ridiculous. And for a last little bit of annual garden, we've got the bunker garden, which, as you can see, I still haven't taken the time to trim the grasses around, but it is still growing me some lovely tomato plants. The peppers that I planted in here didn't deal with the abuse anywhere near as well, but tomatoes always seem to do so well in this thing. We got a little maple bug or something on there, but so it's been an interesting garden project, this sod bunker garden. I do think when we move on to our next property, I will probably recreate something similar, because it does warm up first thing in the spring, and it grows great tomatoes. Great forage too, actually. You know, I had some no-graze sheep or something here. I could just cut that back every few days and yeah, feed them up. But anyway, this is a human garden at the moment, and in the middle of all this, the bunker garden does all right. So there's not really a lot left to see as far as annual garden experience going on here. We got the chickens making their regularly scheduled cameo in the background. But yeah, that's about it. Just kind of a standard update. Things are growing along nicely, surprisingly nicely, considering how dry the year has been. I attribute most of that success to heavy use of mulch. It really does make such a huge difference to retaining moisture in your soil. It's so big. I cannot recommend mulch enough. And on that note, I'm going to wrap it up today, folks, because it is a beautiful Sunday, which means it's also a good day for me to go off in the search for perch. Apparently I can actually catch them, so now that I'm getting a little bit better with that, I might start making fishing videos again for the Barefoot Outdoor channel. If you're interested in that, pop over, make sure you're subbed up, and hit the notification bell on that one, because it's gonna be random what I do post over there. Alright, I guess that's about it. So much love, everybody. I hope you have a fantabulous week ahead. I hope your gardens are growing along stunningly well, and I hope you have found people to give your extra zucchini to, because it's that time of year, isn't it? Alright, much love, and I will see you here next week.